Hey everyone, Marsh from Consequence here. I wanted to go over Dathea Heroic and kind of give you a general idea on the strategy. So for this encounter, and I'm going to play it here, there's not too many mechanics on Heroic, and there's a few mechanics on Mythic I can talk about, like the big ones. So this is a Heroic kill in raid testing, and the fight's pretty straightforward. So if you look at these blue circles here, you want to pre-spread around the room. Now, around the room's kind of you just want to pre-spread and be all not like in a giant circle because that's going to make healing a little harder to do, but you just don't want to be anywhere near anyone. That circle spreads. It's bad if it spreads. Now, we start on this side of the encounter. It doesn't really matter where you start. Now, there's these tornadoes that come out, and if you get hit by them, you'll get knocked up, and they will put an arrow and they'll just like move around the encounter, and an arrow will go where they go, and if it hits you, you get knocked up. This mechanic, you want to run away from the boss. She only knocks you up if you get in her circle, so you see our melee DPS here, they're still getting max DPS. So it's something to keep in mind, just don't get sucked all the way in. However, the big mechanic here comes when she hits 100 energy. Now again, actually we'll talk about this, see the arrows here, and easy dodge, and then the mark, and then you're just away from people. In Mythic difficulty, you actually have to take these marks and bring them to some pillars to charge, and everyone has to get to the same pillar. So that's just a little thing on Mythic, but again, I'll put Mythic guides out when we get there. Anyway, at 100 energy, she'll spawn this hat. There's an interrupting cast, and you'll see it happen here. I don't know if he goes up in group 1 or 2, but this ad, when it dies, it will knock you up to the top platform. There's 3 of them, and you can see we have markers here, and these markers indicate where we're going to use our launch point at. So right before, you will be able to see the ads spawn or like walk onto the platform, and your tank should know, okay, the ads are spawning on what is this, blue platform. Let's take the ad to blue. So you see we have 2 markers here. So we bring the ad here, and then we're going to execute it. So we're getting it down, executing it. Now we have set groups that are going to go up. So he's probably not in group 1 here because he's not positioned. So that when this ad dies, it's going to do a knockback. And this knockback is going to shoot you, and he's probably just going to disengage. But depending on your class, you're going to want to position correctly around that ad. So if you look at other guides, they might just say it's going to knock you back. We take it to blue, so if you don't have the disengage or something to handle this, you're going to want to position a little closer because it's always going to do the same amount of knockback to you. The guys who went up on the platform were positioned here and go up. One thing to note is you probably saw that we had 2 markers. This was just kind of like the range of where, like, the closer you are to the ad, the more, in theory, we didn't want a lot of people to clump up near the ad to get knocked up, because some people still have the mark on them that is falling off, and if that spreads when you get knocked up, it's going to be a wipe. So the mark people are really like towards the back, and the non-mark people are kind of clumped towards the front. But you can get back, and when you're down here, it's just the same mechanics. So it's just a smaller group of people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to skip ahead to the second part. Perfect. So here, the second ad's going to spawn, and I'll talk about the ads when we get up here because those are actually kind of important. It's just not just mindlessly. It might just be mindlessly AoE them, but there are some finesse to it. So again, you see the conductor marks out right here? This guy can't spread it. If he's going up, he can't spread, but it looks like he's going up. See how he's positioning back here? And it's blue, so we're bringing the ad over the blue. And where the ad spawn was RNG in testing, it might be scripted on live. So you bring the ad over, and see how these mark guys are in the back? This is absolutely perfect positioning. So these guys should fly backwards, and then it should fall up when they hit the platform. See, fall off. All right, good, perfect. The DK is going up. So these ads are just going to do chain cast, and then once the big guy spawns up here, he's going to knock you all back. So he uses explosive trap to get this one in, but as you can see here, we're using A-bomb limb from the DK, and that is that is causing all the ads to group up together. Um, there's a lot of ways you can do this. Obviously, A bomb limb is going to be like the best option out from like a DPS. Blood Death Knights in Vengeance Demon Hunters, but mostly Blood Death Knights are really good at grouping all the ads together. But there are other ways to do it. So, in this testing, we only had one DK. So our other group, the group B didn't see, they were using Nox and other things to get all the ads together, and as long as they're somewhat clumped, they're just going to die. Now, another thing we did is we set up CC orders on these ads. So the CC order, it can just be cat totem, sweep. Like you just want to set up somewhat of an order once they're grouped. And it's really up to those people to understand that they're gonna sweep or whatever after someone else. But you like when you get up there, you want to like a lot of the ranged DPS want to throw out their initial kicks, just to like kind of stop them from a lot of damage, and then you AO them down. And once this big guy dies, you'll go back, and you'll see here where they're positioned. They're going back, and this will repeat itself until you kill the boss. Maybe after like the third time, there's an enrage. I'm not really sure about that. But the other thing I kind of want to talk about is, or sorry, there's actually one thing. If the ads come on the platform, you can try to burn the boss and kill it before the ads on the platform kill you. But you have to make that call in the raid. There's no percentage or anything I can tell you because they're going to change all the boss health numbers and stuff right before testing, and everyone here had 4-piece. So one thing to note is how you split up your groups. Now, probably on your first kill, it's just going to be easier to just like set up groups like 50-50. But in reality, you kind of want to do a little thought on this. I believe in our last time we looked at the logs, the first group gets like the ads basically dying at 150. So if you have like users with 2-minute CDs that are really short, or like not like a very very short 2-minute burst CD, or like less than a 2-minute CD, they're going to be really good in the first group because they're going to be able to destroy the ads, and then they'll have their CDs up by the third time these guys are going up. The second group, the 3-minute users, are pretty good there too. So you kind of want to like look at your DPS's CDs and figure out, what is good and what is not, in terms of like who is going up, and also like who does a lot of AoE, who does a lot of CC control. Like you just don't want to send out like a bunch of the same class up there without their CDs. You want to do a little thought into this. And as I said, I think the first one's at 150, and I think the second one's at like 3-ish. But you can look at logs on the first day and confirm that because this might change. And as you see, this group's up there again, killing the ads. This second group's not going to go up there again, but they're going to come down and the boss is going to die. There's two more things I want to note here. Every time you go up on a platform, you get a dot on you that just does more damage when you go back up on a platform, kind of like Artificer, and that will fall off. They don't want you to go up there like 3 times. However, some classes with high stability might be able to go up 3 times. For our heroic first kill, we're probably not going to send over a bunch of classes over multiple times just for safety reasons. But if you're on Artificer, you could do things like send over like a Windwalker Monk twice with their CDs and everything just dies. So it's just something you consider. The other thing I want to talk about is the tank mechanic. It knocks you back. Every time you get a stack, it knocks you back more and more and more. I think people were taunting tanks that could like get to the boss quickly. And also I think a tank goes up as well because of the ad. But actually, yeah, they do. So tanks that can get back from the knockback easily, demon hunters, warriors, are going to be your 2 prime examples of them. They're extremely good at this fight. If you don't have like a knockback immunity or easy way to get back to the boss, you just have to be a little more careful with your tank swaps, just less room for error. But that's really about it. We killed it extremely quickly on heroic, but again, it's all going to come down to your organization of your groups and how you can handle that, and making sure that your tanks know to see where the ads spawn, take it to the markers. These markers work great for us. And make sure your conductive mark people are not spreading the debuff all over the place when you're going up there. Other than that, good luck on your first kill, and I'm out. Peace.